Melee's biggest events are a spectacle of our game on giant stages, surrounded by people who made sacrifices in their daily lives to buy plane tickets to random cities. As much as we love talking about majors on this channel, today the Genesises and Big Houses will be taking a back seat for our admiration for regional events. The word regional is thrown around quite a lot, so we'll be specifically talking about anything right below that top tier of events, but above anything considered a weekly. Regional events are usually a full day of playing Melee while meeting or hanging out with your local region, sometimes amounting to a gathering of everyone who plays Melee in the near vicinity and a common thread of flying out a top player with the hopes your homie beats them. Home court regionals are really where us as Allston Melee started becoming a part of the New England scene, and these events would also be where most of us met and would later become roommates and future YouTube celebrities. With the origin story out of the way, here's Allston Melee's 10 favorite regionals that we've been to. Number 10, any local Arcadian ever. Something about banning the good players really brings out the worst in the bad players, and seeing two people forget how to wave dash in grand finals will always be priceless. Arcadians are tournaments in which ranked players are unable to enter, and these events are consistently the biggest events for some regions. Arcadians are a priceless idea that are seemingly also good for local scenes, with the tournament often being the first one newer players take super seriously. No matter what though, brains turn to mush when you're playing for that 1K for the first time, and we'll always click the Twitch link of whatever state or country has their new blood nervously on stage. Number 9, Game Underground. We will always take every opportunity possible to talk about New England Melee, but Game Underground has been a staple of our home region for quite a while. In December of 2011, a regional would be hosted by Kevin M in Trees that would outlive both of the TO's involvement in the Melee scene. Game Underground has been around since the ancient days of Mango showing up because there was nothing else happening, the distant era of Prague enjoyably screaming on commentary, and the not so foreign past of Crush versus New York City ranked player in grand finals. Spoiler alert, this will be our 1 out of 2 New England events featured on this list, and of that the only one still consistent. Jamie York, owner of the arcade Mass Madness has always taken place in, throughout his change of venues has always had a fat spot for us and some big CRTs, and the store's commitment cannot be thanked enough. Number 8, Fight Pit. The scene surrounding Pittsburgh and all those who show up are loud and lovable. When we committed to getting in a car for 9 hours to drive to Fight Pit for the first time, we weren't really sure what to expect, but by the time we heard the faint sounds of CRT speakers and yelling college kids, we felt right at home. If the whole yelling and screaming thing at tournaments puts you off, Fight Pit isn't necessarily all white noise yelling throughout the day, but the match's worth of interest can get admittedly hype and loud in the ways we appreciate. If the idea of PJH Carroll and Junebug shit-talking each other while Junebug is chain-grabbing in top 8 interests you, check out a Fight Pit if it's ever convenient to your schedule. Number 7, Nebulous. Hosting a tournament is hard. Hosting a tournament is even harder when you're in New York City and every venue costs a rack for a day. Born in the basements out of necessity, the Nebs team took on the never-ending task of attempting to become a hotspot for the crowded city and would succeed while bringing out many folks from the suburbs surrounding. Super Nebs would be the upgraded form, with the goal of shoving as many bodies as possible in the basement and fingers crossed for no fire marshals. Nebs was a great experience that we would monthly drive 6 hours for, but no longer do we have that option. Nebulous would close its doors following the loss of their last venue, and after a soft comeback and reclosing, would pass the torch to the weekly that we almost put on this list, Hax's Nightclub. Number 6, Endgame TV's events. In the words of internet masterminds 100gex, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Suddenly, this list became a lot harder to rank, as we initially had this entry much higher than the 6th spot. Allston Melee hearts EGTV so damn hard. Endgame TV is the embodiment of this entry, hosting pop-up tournaments across the globe like their Odd Future merch booths in 2014. If you're close enough to be in a city deemed worth being in, there's a good chance EGTV has stopped by on their TO tour. There's events like Saving Mr. Lombardi in SoCal, all about showcasing Falcon Banes, or Beantown Lean House in Boston, where Crush literally just picked the branding. But no matter what angle and where they're at, we stay standing our friends who host sick Melee tournaments for the right reasons. Number 5, Bust. Okay, be honest, how many of you thought we were going to put my mom on this list? And if you thought we were, consider yourself a top tier Allston Melee fan. Boston University Smash Tournament, better known as Bust, has had 3 iterations and hasn't shown any sign of life for about 5 years now. Bust is another one of those things that died with Matt.Zeb things, and as much as we can blame the trader, the event's lack of presence is likely tied to the college's change of rulings. These 3 iterations would be where New England Melee would really believe in Matt.Zeb and friends' ability to host a major. As looking back, Bust 3's promises were pretty insane. Bust 3 had 256 entrants, over 75 working setups, an 8-man round robin, and brackets for every single person, no matter how you did, directly out of pools. Meaning you could literally lose to 7 other people and suddenly you're in a bracket against like 100 other people who lost to 7 other people. Bust was a welcoming, professional, and seamless event, and because of events like this, New England went all in supporting Big Blue's efforts of a real major. Number 4. Gang. If the one-off events are the World Tour, Gang is the festival named after the headliner. EGTV has done a phenomenal job at creating a tournament near Philadelphia that is automatically worth our 7-hour drive. With a similar cast of goated TOs from the area and the same old endgame goons behind the scenes, the Gang host a Melee tournament hits all our checkboxes. With a perfect blend of both a competitive environment worth watching and just the homies hanging out with some Melee, we adore Gang. In our last entry of our love letter to EGTV, big shouts out to the people involved with this one, and thanks for understanding and nailing the niche of events right below the Nationals. Number 3, the Mango. In a tournament series that is partially a nod to Mango Juice, the Mango Tournament Series kind of breaks all the rules of being a tournament. After its debut, it was made pretty apparent that this was not the tournament for the peak of competition, with some players not being up to the perfect standards. But to be honest, that is partially why the future ones were so much fun from the get-go. There is a list of tournaments we at Allston Melee would fly out for, and on that list there are few regional tournaments, but this series is one of them. To be fair, any event in California that attracts the attention of enough people is bound to be at least something interesting. The reason we have consistently enjoyed the Mango Tournament Series is because along with the featuring of top Cali players, it has always drawn a bunch of outside top 100 talent as well, while still maintaining and elevating that feeling of a smaller regional event. Recently hosting a birthday bash in Canada, that event had quite a different feel and a more serious tone, and although we're pretty sure that one was from a different management and intentions, it's worth a mention. For the fun times, lack of pressure, and possible ability to audible, thumbs up to these events. Number 2, Smash Camp. And the only entry that none of us at Allston Melee have been to, we still confidently put Smash Camp at our number 2 slot. Majors have clearly proven themselves to be the pinnacle of competition, and as much as we can get behind a regional emulating that feel, the tippity top of this list consists of events that are trying to be more than just a Melee bracket. We have mentioned decently about how much we love the homey feel of regionals, but try and argue against the homey feel of camping in a lodge together. Our Smash Camp correspondent Matt.Zeb has called Smash Camp one of his favorite tournament experiences ever, and we're disappointed to have not been hit to the wave previously. Innocent enough, if our information is correct, head TO and notable funny man, The Cheat, picked the venue just because he went there as a kid. And it's kind of rad that everyone gets to live vicariously through kid version of The Cheat. Whenever the blessed day comes of events existing again in a safe way, we will give Mr. Smash GG our registration ASAP. And number 1, the roasts. For as much that could possibly go wrong with asking 6 Melee players to be funny on stage, the roasts of whoever were done so well that I actually believed Hugo was funny for a second. Although ghost written by Slime and his gang of minions, for the most part the bits hit and some people looked like naturals. On top of the stand-up show packaged along, both events have featured great competition and excellent TOing. When given the opportunity, our content big brothers of Bad Melee clearly know how to host a tournament, but also understand how to make it larger than just that. As much as the one-day event had a stacked player list, the thing people remember most is probably the benefit Beyond the Summit helped provide the regional. Tournaments like Big House and Shine will always get our money, but somehow there's a never-ending spot in our hearts for tournaments that can't provide venue spaces as big as conventions. Majors are the tournaments that mean the most for the top echelon, but regionals have consistently provided an intimate stage for the players not always given one. Narratives and storylines about the players in a surrounding area are why we love regionals, and the tournament experiences mean so much more when it's a region filled with friends. Hello, my name is Patty. I am 1/4 of Allston Melee, and please subscribe. Right now, for a limited time offer, you can subscribe to Allston Melee and get $1 off of your www.com/RobDeerdick merch order. That is www.com/RobDeerdick merch order. Each subscription gets you $1 off. Go to that website right now and claim your prize. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Bye.